What happened to my one take, Corey?
You want me to come stand with you?
Yeah, you're my muse. You're my muse. What's up, everybody? Nic Bronkall here, coach and columnist for elitefts, and today we are talking about how to build strength out of the hole in your squat. We're here with Corey today, and we're going to talk about building strength out of the hole. Now, as a coach, when we're squatting, what we have to keep in mind is when we squat down and push to the ground, we're trying to transmit that force into the bar. What can happen though is that we either lose strength, tightness, or the weight's just too heavy and we get out of position. So today we're going to show you what it looks like to be weak out of the hole, and then how we're going to correct it, one with technique and then specialty exercises to make that your strength. So Corey here is going to demonstrate some of the technique flaws that occur when you're weak out of the hole. Okay, so Corey, go ahead and go under the bar. So the first thing I'm usually looking at is the rib cage and pelvis positioning, and I'm looking at that the whole time. So when someone's weak out of the hole, usually what they will do is their hips will fly up first out of the hole. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean he's weak. It could be a technique issue and some things we could fix with like breathing and bracing, or it could be a true weakness. So that's usually the biggest thing I'm looking at, is watching what their hips are doing, and then rib cage and pelvis positioning. All right, so now we're going to go over my favorite exercises for improving strength out of the hole. The first one is going to be a front squat. I like this because it takes the load off the spine, but it forces you to keep your torso upright. So if you're a powerlifter or don't have the mobility to get in a rack position, go ahead and cross your arms. So Corey's going to go ahead and squat down. So if his elbows were to tip there, it would dip him forward, right? And then his hips would probably shoot up. So this forces him to stay tight, keep the bar in a good position, and drive with his chest coming up out of the hole. The next exercise we're going to do to improve Corey's strength out of the hole is we're going to do what is called a pause squat. So he's going to go ahead and take it out like a normal squat. What he's going to do is he's going to squat all the way to the bottom, and he's going to pause. Now, as a coach, what I want him to emphasize is pulling down on that bar through his spine. This is going to help get his lats engaged, but it's also going to help him drive his chest out of the hole. I think that's one of the biggest, as far as technique, is teaching your lifters how to pull that bar down to engage his lats and drive their chest out of the hole. So instead of his hips flying up first, his chest is going to be the first out of the hole. Go ahead, do one more, Corey. Good. The next squat we're going to use to help improve strength out of the hole is a pin squat or an Anderson squat. So Corey's going to go ahead and get under the bar. And what he's going to do, we set these pins about where he starts to come up out of the hole. So he'll squat down to the pins and he will stay there. So what Corey's going to do to really emphasize on this is he's going to squeeze that bar down through his spine and drive up through that bar. Good. And then he would go right back down to the pins. This is also a great variation to add bands or chains, and doing this as your main movement. The next squat variation that's great for building strength out of the hole is the Zercher Squat. I like to mix this in for lifters who are uncomfortable with front squatting or can't get in a good rack position. This is a great variation to keep that torso up nice and tall and also build that strength in the middle. So go ahead, Corey's going to take the bar in the crease of his elbows. If you have some like sharp knurling, you can go ahead and like wrap a sweatshirt around it or something like that. So all Corey's going to do is he's going to sit straight down. So you can see the position this puts him in. His back's nice and flat, and then his elbows are inside his knees, which is great for opening his hips up. So Corey has nowhere to go but straight up. So Corey, go ahead and go down and let your hips come up first. So if you can see, if his hips come up first and you have this bar loaded, even with like 135, it's going to put a ton of stress on that elbow. So this is a great variation for building that strength out of the hole. I like to pause because we're weak out of the hole. So go ahead, do one more. He'll pause and then he'll explode up. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out the links below for all equipment, articles, and updates.